Okay, hey everybody, my name is Triple J on the A-Way forums, and this is the second video of my video series based on decision making in Soul Calibur 5. In this match, it's going to be me, again playing Mitsurugi. I'm pretty much always going to be playing Mitsurugi in these videos, and I'm playing against a Leisha player. This is again a PSN match. I want to do a little bit of an exercise in this video. So I'm going to let the first round play, kind of like how I did in the first video, but this time I'm not going to talk about it at all. And when I lose, and spoiler alert, I'm going to lose the first round, pretty convincingly too, and I want you to tell me why that happened. Why did I lose the first round? I'm not just talking about overall concepts, philosophical ideas as to my generalized personality. I'm talking about specific details in situations that happened during the round that caused me to lose. What decisions is my opponent making? What options do I have that he wants to beat really badly? Okay?
Lest you succumb to the void.
My blade is angry. Want a taste?
We can talk afterward. Come on, let's fight.
Battle 1. Fight.
Okay, so why did I lose that first round? And I legitimately want to know. I don't want you to just wait to hear what my answer is. I want to know exactly what you think about that first round. And if you disagree with my eventual answer, then please let me know in a comment. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of the round. Now, there were two things that I got from that first round. One, my opponent is ducking a lot. He wants to catch tick throws, he wants to catch my horizontal highs. He's doing a dynamic form of statue blocking, which in my opinion isn't really the best way of dealing with Mitsurugi. Any kind of statue blocking, you're really kind of putting yourself in a bad way. And also the second one is that he's catching 4B. I'm doing 4B a lot, and virtually every single time he's catching it with a pretty hard-hitting move, at least as hard-hitting as Leisha can be. So let me show you where I got that idea.
My blade is angry. Want a taste?
We can talk afterward. Come on, let's fight.
Battle 1. Fight.
So he comes into my face, which is what you expect Leisha to do. You expect her to do a lot of pressure. I get caught by 4-4B. Right there is the first sign that he wants to be doing that. He does 4-4K when I get knocked down. Now this catches a lot of things. It also tech jumps over a 2A. If it gets blocked, it's not a big deal, except the fact that he went immediately into 3B, which leads me to believe that he expected me to get hit. So this doesn't necessarily mean that he's catching 4B, but it's the first sign. Does something that would catch a potential wake-up attack. Now right there, Wall Rising A is not an unsafe move. The only reason why he got hit by BB is he's decided to do one of Leisha's most unsafe things that's not actually unsafe, and then duck. So he seems to be wanting to duck a little bit. Catches my movement there. Now again, he decides to duck there, but he doesn't actually punish. He wants to put me in a pressure game, right? Catches my 4B again. It's obvious that he expected that, and wouldn't you know it, tick throw gets ducked. So now after the first round, my initial impressions are, well, so he wants to catch 4B. What that means for Leisha, and this is how people normally deal with 4B, is that he wants to do something that's calculated. He wants his offense to be a little bit more strategic. Normally what that means is that the pressure becomes much slower. He's not going to be mashing a lot of buttons at a slight frame advantage or disadvantage. So what happens if I just start mashing in his face, or moving in another way other than 4B that doesn't, commit me to a particular movement? What if I just stand there and block? It's not necessarily what I want to be doing, but it's another one of the options. So here I decide to see what his ducking is like. So right there, I didn't catch his duck, but it was obvious that he was doing a little bit of twitch ducking, and this leads me to believe that I'm on the right track here in terms of beating my opponent. He also doesn't punish the 3B. That's also something to note. I wait for the reaction. Wait for it again. He's decided to switch to GIs, and he's ducking. Ducked twice, and I convinced him enough with the wake-up situation that it was time to stop ducking. I convinced him enough that the immediacy of his reactions after I block something is not really in his best interest. Will this continue? Is he the kind of opponent that gets conditioned pretty quickly? He's starting to press buttons a little bit quicker. Yep, now he's moving on to just guarding. Yep. Here I make a bit of a mistake and I get hit by Wall Rising B Brave Edge. But see, his pressure is getting more about moves. That was a good punch there. Right there, that's something that I want to go back to, is this was arguably a mistake of mine. I expected him again to try and catch 4B, right? And I think that move does catch it, but I'm not 100% sure. But in any case, the movement wasn't really the best idea there, once I'm on frame disadvantage. So I started doing 4B again because I think I've conditioned my opponent enough to where he's going to use buttons instead of using strategic slow buttons. He's going to be mashing a lot more, right? Now he starts statue blocking again, but he started to guess wrong. There I get a little bit lucky. He didn't punish the 6B2, probably because he figured a run-up grab, which would be enough damage to kill me rather than taking the punish, was the best bet. But I guess he didn't get his dash up, potentially because it's online, and he ends up whiffing the grab and I win. So now, I've won on both sides. I've beaten him in his stuff to catch 4B, and I've beaten him in the stuff that catches other options. So which one do I think my opponent is going to do now? That's just a little trick I do. Some people like to do 3A, but I find there's a lot of people who are used to that standing mix-up by Mitsurugi. So instead I add in another move which allows me to get him into a standing reset a little bit farther away. Even though this is worse, I find that my opponents are not necessarily used to it as much as they are to the 3A counter hit. So what I decide to do is try to catch a step. What he could have done there, as opposed to trying to move, would be to just press a button. I don't really have much frame advantage there. He puts himself in the corner. I think that was a botched just guard. Here he screws up the 2KB punish, and then does an immediate guard impact. So please let me know why you think that I lost the first round, and if my estimation as to what my opponent was trying to do was correct. I'd like to hear what everybody's thoughts are. And that'll be it for this video. Alright, thanks very much.